Hello and welcome to the show, Wicklow Good News with me, Jillian Godsil. Now today I'm joined by Conor O'Leary from Purple House, the Cancer Support Services organisation based primarily in Wicklow and Dublin. So first off, we have spoken to you before on different formats. Tell me a bit about the services that Purple House offers people.
Yes, so Purple House is a community-based cancer support centre. We support cancer patients and their families in the community. So the best way to think about it is that you go to the hospital for your medical treatment and you come to Purple House for everything else. So all of your emotional support, all of your practical support, your counselling, art therapy, help with, dealing with all the practical aspects of what a cancer diagnosis brings to a family and to the household. So we complement the medical side, we'd work together, supporting families in a whole holistic approach to their cancer care. So it would be services such as counselling and complementary therapies, hospital transport, all of the little things that you don't think of that a family need while living with cancer. How will I pay the mortgage? How will I tell the children maybe that I have cancer or that my appearance is going to change as a result of cancer? And how will I get into my hospital treatment if I don't have a car? I don't want to rely on public transport. So it's a whole suite of services. And we also then have a range of services for cancer survivors. So there's more people living with cancer in Ireland today than was ever before. There's over 200,000 cancer survivors. So we provide a lot of services to help people move beyond, cancer, move on with their lives, go back to work, go back to the, some sense of normality post-cancer, because a cancer diagnosis really stops you in your tracks, and everything that maybe was familiar and normal to you, suddenly changes overnight. So there's a lot of adjustment needed, a lot of support needed around that. So our services are for everyone really, of all ages, from 3-year-olds up to 83-year-olds, and then also for not just the patient, but for their family members, their friends and work colleagues as well.
Wow, so it's a huge holistic service. As you say, our hospitals and our cancer service are very good here. They're excellent, but there's so much the wraparound that's needed, from everything from transport to how to talk to the children to explain stuff. Now, COVID-19, I started off by saying that you're, predominantly Wicklow and Dublin. What has COVID-19 done to your services?
Yes, well, COVID-19 has allowed us to go nationwide, because we had to stop people physically coming into our centre. So quickly we had to adapt, we had to adapt our services to an online setting. So for example, our counselling service, that went from face-to-face counselling in a room with a counsellor to telephone and video counselling. So a bit like what we're doing here now, a counsellor would conduct a session with a client over Zoom or WhatsApp, and then also on the telephone. So that means that no matter where you live in the country, from Donegal to Cork to Kerry, you can avail of Purple House's services, and it can be provided, I suppose, at a much lower cost as well, because if we look at, let's say, some of our classes, at the moment we can only fit so many people in our class, in a classroom, for example, our relaxation class. But with Zoom, we can fit over 200 people, or
Are you getting those numbers?
Class. So on our relaxation classes on Facebook, we were getting well into the hundreds viewing those classes every Tuesday. And we'd never be able to fit that amount of people into any building. So there's a huge opportunity with COVID-19 to reach more people.
I guess if you have got clients that are based in Wicklow and Dublin, your traditional clients, presumably they've got family in the rest of the country. So they're probably coming in and saying, I want to understand and be part of this process of my loved one, although I live in Cork. So Is that what's bringing in people, do you think?
That's it. Technology is making the world smaller, and exactly as you said there, it's allowing people, to really connect, from the comfort of their own environment, from their own home, but then also from the hospital bed, So oftentimes cancer patients are in hospital for a very long time, So our services now are able to reach them while they are in hospital, you know, and before COVID, they wouldn't have been able to access the service because they couldn't leave the hospital setting. You know, and this afternoon we held an art therapy class for children affected by cancer, and there was children from Navan, from Meath, from all over tuned into that, and they tune in every Wednesday at 2:00, you know, to take part in that class. So, you know, COVID has shown us a new way of doing things, a new way of supporting people, you know, and this is the reality now of how, you know, we interact as a society now. And it for us, it was a case of maybe closing the doors or really adapting overnight. And we have a great team at Purple House. You know, within a week, we were able to get 90% of the services in an online setting, which was really very, you know, we're very proud of that, you know, that the cancer patient and our clients weren't disrupted, you know, during COVID. And other services that are really coming into our own during COVID is food hampers and food deliveries, because cancer patients can't risk getting COVID by going to the supermarket. You know, they can't put themselves in spaces where there's a lot of people, you know. So that's where our partnership with Food Cloud has really helped us to ensure that cancer patients can feed themselves and their families on a daily basis. So we get a delivery of food from Food Cloud every Friday, and we have a team of volunteers then that would deliver that to over 50 families and ensure that they have food on the table.
That's
so it's one
huge.
less thing to worry about.
Yeah, 'cause I was going to ask you, you know, obviously certain things can go online and you can extend your reach and have, you know, hundreds of people coming to the relaxation, but things like delivering food, obviously that's still for the locale. But it's even more important for your clients because cancer patients can't go out into supermarkets. It's so dangerous for them.
That's right. You know, many cancer treatments cause, you know, suppressed immune system. You know, so cancer patients are in a high risk group. You know, so what we're trying to do is just keep them safe. You know, so provide as many services as we can to cancer patients who are self-isolating at home. You know, and oftentimes as well, it may be the only contact you may have in the day, you know, our volunteer leaving the food at the door, you know, so it's very important to help reduce isolation as well. But we're finding a big demand for the food, also from cancer, but also then from unemployment. You know, so many people are out of work now. You know, so there's a financial implication, you know, to not being able to afford food, you know, so it's a really, really important service, and you know, it's vital, really, you know, to cancer patients.
What are the biggest challenges for your older clients? Can they get online? Are they able to do that?
Yeah, so we are discovering that there are some challenges there. You know, there is one particular group in the centre, a men's group, and the technology is just simply not working for them. You know, that they just find it too difficult to access something like Zoom. You know, so that is a challenge. The best thing we can do to cope with that is divert to telephone support, you know, so we will be in contact with those people on a weekly basis, you know, and our counsellors will be ringing them as well. So, but the contact is still there, you know. It may not be all the bells and whistles of video and audio, but for us it's just as important that contact is made and that somebody is not living alone, not isolated, and not, you know, basically maybe starving, you know, that they can't get out to a supermarket. So there are challenges, but we feel that I suppose the support and the work that's being done is far outweighing the challenges, you know, and they will be overcome, you know. Over time, people probably will get more used to this type of setting, you know. Thankfully, the technology is so easy to use, you know, but if you're not used to it, it can be a big challenge. So, I'm
going to ask, how are children adapting to it? Your children?
Well, you see, children are so, you know, they're so adaptable, they're so resilient. They don't have a problem, you know. It's us and our therapists and our counsellors that are trying to keep up with the children. So I'll give you an example, our therapy class. The children know that there's a typing chat feature on Zoom, and they, so they started popping in, hello, hello, such and such, and talking to each other on chat. And our therapists were saying, oh, gee, we didn't actually know there was a chat feature. So they they are ahead, and they're used to this. They watch YouTube, they watch things on TV. They're used to this. This is not, they're used to seeing their face on a camera. It's normal for them. And so they don't really have a problem with it, and they just want more, give us more classes, more stuff to do. So what we do with the art therapy is we post them out their materials, each week. So they get a bundle of, if, for example, if they're making dream catchers or something like that, they would get everything delivered to them. And then at 2:00 on a Wednesday, then they would just open up their envelope and have all their bits and pieces, and then just follow then the class online. So it's, so they look forward to that. They look forward to the post arriving, to the package, and they just feel really connected. So it's really, really powerful.
I love that. I love the idea of the kids waiting for the post, because kids don't really get post much,
No.
So addressed to them, and then the fun. That's cool. Tell me then, just before we go, one of the things I was looking at, the choir. Is the choir surviving? Can the choir do choir practice on Zoom?
Yes. Now this is really interesting. I'm glad you mentioned it, because the choir is happening on Zoom, and they're getting on great. But physical choirs are going to be a real issue, because the normal guidelines are 2 meters, but for choirs, they're suggesting 6 meters apart for people.
Oh, because
yes.
The expiration of the air.
That's it. And it's not just for choirs, it's for, let's say, concerts or football matches where people are shouting and just where they are using their mouth a lot more. So we don't know how that's going to pan out. And in terms of, we can't stop choir. We need music. We need music in the world,
More than ever.
More than ever. Mm-hmm. So we hope that there is going to be a common ground there developed. But at the moment, the choir is working on Zoom, and they're getting on great. And, they're just so delighted to to see each other's faces, to hear each other, and just to have that routine every Monday evening, of tuning in and taking part in the choir, So it's so important, just to have a structure, I think, at this time, because everything has sort of been taken away from us, all of our, we're working from home, or, we can't, or the things we like to do, go to a restaurant or maybe go somewhere for a walk, is all being taken away from us. So it's so important that we still have some sort of structure and something to look forward to in the day, and that's where these classes fill that gap.
And especially, I was going to say, with your clients, because they have cancer, they're high risk. It's not like they want to cocoon more. It's more dangerous for them to leave their home. Wow. So that's amazing. So you're going nationwide. My God, Purple House goes nationwide. Isn't that funny? And not funny, It's lovely. It's amazing. And you're able to do more with less money, almost, in some ways.
Yes. Yeah. And, we never would have taken the leap, if we didn't have to, and it's forced us to do it. And, we will be the better of it. There is a silver lining, to all of these, challenges that are sent our way, So that's the big message, that, wherever you live in Ireland, you can access our services,
and if people want to find you, where will they find you, Conor?
Yeah, so they can go to purplehouse.ie, or they can give us a ring on 2866 966, and we're on social media as well. So reach out to us and we'll gladly support you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time today. I love it that Purple House goes global, could be global, certainly nationwide. So there's some very good positives to people from COVID, which is well done. So I have to say thank you so much to you today. It's Conor O'Leary from Purple House, purplehouse.ie. I want to thank Marlena Murphy producing, Gavin Dowd on sound. This is me, Jillian Godsil on Wicklow Good News. Until the next time, be good, be safe, and keep on helping others. Thank you so much.